Good morning and welcome to One Broker Group's exclusive webinar on the next big real estate opportunity in Ras Al Khaimah. I'm Rasha Al Kutubi and I'm delighted to be your host today. I'm going to be starting to introduce One Broker Group, although maybe most of you know us already. So, One Broker Group, or OBG, as we are known in the market, are more than just brokerage. We specialize in development management, project sales, project administration, land acquisitions within the real estate domain. We have been working in Dubai real estate since 2005 under the leadership of our founder and CEO, Mr. Umar bin Farouk. Throughout that time, of course, we have gained the trust of our clients as well as the developers, which partner with us for so many premier exclusive projects that we successfully sell out with record times in many cases. Today, we are glad to introduce our newest exclusive project, one of the best in the market in Al Marjan Island in Ras Al Khaimah. Therefore, I am actually very excited to introduce our special guest, Mr. Daniel Page, our Associate Director at One Broker Group. Daniel has a wealth of experience in the UAE real estate market and is an astonishing actually history of the UAE sales in real estate. He's going to share with us his insights on why Ras Al Khaimah is the place to be for investors and homeowners alike. Welcome, Daniel. I'm sure that you have a very exciting insights to share with our audience this morning.
Rasha, good morning. Thank you for that. Thanks for that introduction. Yes, yes, I do. So first of all, before we dive into Ras Al Khaimah, I'm just going to talk a bit about the UAE because I think that is a value point. So, guys, let's just quickly go into the UAE as why it's an investable country, not just in Ras Al Khaimah, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah. So first of all, we look at the tourism side. I think tourism is a massive part to play here in the UAE. Obviously, there's other manufacturing, there's logistics. I think also now, if you look as well, it's very easy now it's very easy to set up business. I think the 100% ownership is another massive plus point. So looking at some figures and facts, last year or in 2022, we saw a transaction amount of 74.5 million, which was a record year with a worth of 4.9 trillion dirhams. So like I say, across the whole of the UAE, these are interesting points. I think also it's worth looking at, we got to see at the Sheikh's vision here. We all know it's been talked about, the 2040 vision. I think we're going to see the GDP grow by 7% and the population grow to 10 million. Personally, I think we'll probably see that before 2040. So I think the reason why there is so much investment here within the UAE, I think if you look at the stability that it has here, obviously their plan, their succession plan, and also to keep in fact, they're also part of the GCC membership. So, I think if you look around the world at the moment, there is a lot of instability, but the UAE has that stability and that attracts foreign investors and startup companies. So just coming to, I think we need to touch on a few points as well. I think if you look at the infrastructure of the UAE, if you look at the Dubai Metro, we just recently announced that there will be a new blue line, which His Highness has approved. Also, I think it's worth pointing out that, the Etihad Rail has had its expansion. That's coming. That will eventually, I know it's operational in some parts of the UAE now, but it will eventually run from Saudi Arabia through to Fujairah. So I think with that, obviously that boosts the accessibility, obviously the connectivity, and, this will have a positive effect on the real estate. I think the areas which don't have the metro line running through it will see the most benefit in terms of, I see appreciation and rental growth in prices as well. So, guys, just to give you some facts and figures on the tourism side of things, I think it's worth pointing out that the tourism brings in 167 billion dirhams. Last year we saw with a 9% growth in the GDP. I think tourism is going to be is a massive factor here, and I think it will be for years to come. So, off the back of tourism, obviously, when people come here to visit within the UAE, they see the opportunity for real estate investment. I think if you look generally across the board, you look at about a 10% return ROI, more so in your premium areas. And I think that will also, when you bought the unit as well, that will have a factor into play. So what we have seen, and I think what we will see for a while to come, is the flipping of properties. So like any development that you come into, if you buy in early enough, you buy at the pre-launch, you do get that capital appreciation, and we're seeing that very much so here within the UAE. And like I say, especially more so in your sort of premium locations. Along with that, we have seen a rental income and a stability growth to 6.5% last year, and we expect to see more in 2023. So I think it's worth just mentioning some other points here from the investment side of things. I think how things have become easier now. Obviously, with a golden visa is very easy to obtain. You have to have a minimum equity or spend of 2 million dirhams. See the 100% of business ownership as well. That is another massive plus point. I think there's a lack of at the moment in the market of prime residential properties and commercial properties. We've experienced that ourselves. Looking for an office in the downtown area, that was not an easy thing to do in terms of trying to find a new office. We know, as I touched there, obviously there is limited supply in the market, and I think there will be. I think as the population grows, the supply will not meet the demand in terms of the population. I think also, if you look around the world at the moment, especially more so in Europe, I think Europe, the interest rates, I know myself in the UK are extremely high. Here in the UAE, they are relatively low, and other forecast is for them to continue to stay low as well. So, these are just all interesting points on why to invest here in the UAE. Touching on the annual growth rate, I think if you look anywhere in the world, especially Europe more, we've seen a massive increase. We have seen an increase here of 3%. And off the back of that, obviously the market volume is expected to reach 800 billion dirhams in 2028. So moving on, guys, I think if you look now in the UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, these are three Emirates that have seen some massive transactions and some massive growth over the past years. So we first, let's jump onto Dubai first. You can see off-plan sales volume is up 83% in 2022, and we expect that to grow even more this year. Secondary market transactions are up 40%. This in 2022 as well. Yet again, I'm sure by the end of this year we'll be seeing a massive increase on percentage-wise there as well. Coming quickly to Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is, for me, is an emirate which has seen a massive growth spurt in the last few years, especially with Alda, the developer there. As you can see the figures here, that's up 84% in 2022. Secondary market, we've seen it up to 25%, and I expect it to see a lot more this year because I know there's been some fantastic launches in Abu Dhabi with Alda. So coming into Ras Al Khaimah. So Ras Al Khaimah, this is really the sort of point that we're going to be talking about today. So as you can see, I still feel that it's a market, or Ras Al Khaimah is a market where it's yet to really find its sort of true value. Last year in 2022, we saw 4 billion dirhams worth of transactions, and the forecast coming into this year, they're saying that will be up by 21%. But I would see that to be more this year and to grow in the years to come as well. So why I think is with Ras Al Khaimah, it's like any of the other Emirates in Dubai. I think, obviously we have the sort of tax regimes, again, we have the 100% foreign ownership, the easiness of setting up a company, the population growth, which we talked about with the 2040 vision, and the strong property demand. The strong property demands come off the back of the announcement of the wind resort. We've seen a lot of big brands going there. The address was launched just recently. Obviously, Nikki Beach with Alda. I know there's a lot more brands that are due to come, whether it's a hotelier brand, watch brand, or a clothes brand. So, just going into Ras Al Khaimah in a bit more detail and what it has to offer there. We know Ras Al Khaimah has got visited there many times. It's got some fantastic beaches. It's a bit more different to Dubai in terms of scenery wise. It does have its mountains there. Excuse me. There's also obviously your deserts. You get there wherever in the UAE. Obviously, you've got your historical sites as well. And it's going to be a fast growing business hub with free zones there as well. So, just touching on some of the things to do really when you're there. Obviously, they have the world's largest zip line, which we can see. They've got some of the best wadis. Marjan Island, which we're going to go into more detail about soon. We've got the dolphins. Obviously, got some great cycling tracks, walking tracks, and like I said, there's some historical sites as well. So, just going into the sort of tourism facts here. 2022, we saw 1.1 million people. Double that this year in 2023. Double that again by 2030. These figures are sort of coming off the back of the announcement of the wind down there in Ras Al Khaimah, which will be the largest gaming resort in not only in the Middle East but in the world as well. So, going back to what I talked about earlier about some of the brands which are going to be coming. Obviously, we know the wind resorts there. Nikki Beach, we know, launched with Alda recently. Nobu Residences, Marza Residences. The address was announced last week. The W Hotel. We know there's some other small developments which are going on there. If you've got to ask your question, why are they going there? Why are they launching there? They all see value in one thing. The wind resort, which is opening, will bring a huge amount of footfall. And off the back of that, you can, with the footfall, we'll see the population grow, and it will be a good investment opportunity for the investors. So, coming to our brand, I come into our project that we are launching, which is a very, very good project. It's the JW Marriott Residences in partnership or in conjunction with Wow Resort. So to give you an insight, our location on the island is a prime location. We're on Island 2. So we're on Island 2. I will go into more detail on the location in a minute. I'm just going to quickly skip just to give you an understanding of where the JW Marriott is situated within the segment of the branding within the Marriott Group. It's a luxury brand. It's in their luxury segment. That's what we're selling, and that's what we're offering to clients down there. So here is just a bit of background of who Wow are. This was then when they done the signing on Marjan Island. You have someone representing there from the Marriott Group, as well as the two CEOs, Bruce and Anwar, and Mr. Abdullah from Marjan Island, and someone else from the Marriott Group. So come into a bit more detail about the location of where our particular development will be. So as you can see here, ours pretty much, or is the closest in terms of proximity to the wind. Now, what we are launching, obviously the WOW have partnered up with the JW Marriott. The JW Marriott, as I said earlier, is a 5-star brand. Okay. We are going to be offering 1 to 4 bed apartments. Okay. Well, there'll be some 3-bed duplexes. There'll be 1 bed to 2 beds. There'll be some penthouses. Okay. All units will come fully furnished by the JW Marriott standard. It comprises of 2 buildings, obviously one with the brand, one with the residences and one with the hotel. The hotel itself will have 300 room keys. Wherever you look within this building, you will get a fantastic view. You'll get a fantastic view of the sea with the wind. You'll get a fantastic view of the sea from looking back into the skyline of Ras Al Khaimah. So, good question here is why invest? I think it's more of why not invest. That's my opinion. We know that the JW Marriott we know the JW is a strong brand worldwide. We know that they operate in many countries around the world. Our location, as I touched on many times, is a prime location. We will be having a direct access from our resort into the wind, which is another massive point. I think if you just look at what the renders here show you, there's going to be various pools scattered throughout the resort. These are going to be accessible both to residents and to people staying within the hotel. Okay, so I feel, as I said, I think I mentioned earlier, that from an investment opportunity, I think Ras Al Khaimah is really yet to find its true value. And, like any off-plan development, if you come in early enough, you will gain good capital appreciation. So here's just some unique selling points about the JW. Obviously, we mentioned that the units are fully furnished. The layouts, we've got a very amicable, very easy to work with. The furnishings in there obviously will be to the JW Marriott standard. The finishing throughout in a lot of the apartments will have marble flooring. Not only will we be offering luxury in terms of the layouts, the furnishings, the views, obviously we are having nightclubs that will be established within the resort itself. We'll have 2 nightclubs. We'll have various bars spread out through the resort. Dining venues as well. The point is, for a client or a person, when they come and stay in the hotel, they'll come in, they'll check in, they'll go in to have lunch in one of our fine dining restaurants, go out to the pool, listen to the resident DJ, have some sundowners, back in, get changed, back up to one of the other fine dining restaurants we offer, maybe head over into the wind, listen to, if there's a concert going there, someone someone singing, go listen to that, maybe go to the mall, do a bit of shopping in the mall, which would be on the island, and even go into the gaming part, and then head back and finish the evening in one of our nightclubs. Just going in a bit more into some of the swimming pools that we have there. So we have an infinity type swimming pool there. It's going to be a raised lagoon. Okay, so with this raised lagoon, that will go right out to the breakwater. So a lot of people, when they come, they will feel like when they're in the swimming pool, they feel like they're in the sea. And the reason we've sort of done that is we've done something a bit different, because we know that, the resort is 7 days a week, 365 days a year operational. Obviously, with the temperature in the UAE, especially in the hotter months, the sea can be unbearable. So with the raised lagoon, what we've done, we've created a beach around that, which will be a saltwater lagoon. So people will be able to use that all year round. Like any 5-star resort, we have to give 5-star amenities. We're going to have fitness centers there. There's going to be a spa, his and hers. Obviously the views which will be coming from the development itself, that comes back to our location. We are in a prime location in terms of looking straight onto the main viewing point, which is the wind. You know, the whole point of Marjan Island and why there's been so much hype around Marjan Island is, you know, it's the wind resort itself. This is what's attracting people. And I think it's also worth pointing out that, you know, there was some surveys done by third-party companies here, and it was an interesting point where we had someone in at the weekend to come and speak to us about from the island, from Marjan Island, and talk to us about you know, the effect of what the wind will bring to Ras Al Khaimah. So he pointed out a very good fact. There was a casino launched in 2009, which was in Singapore. Don't forget, at that time of the year, we were going through a world crisis. Off the back of that, he has seen what they're saying. They've seen the population, or the footfall of people, coming to there grow each year. And, you know, basing their consumptions off that, on it will be similar how the wind is going to be operational. They expect to see the same. You can see these reports as well, but their forecast is that there will be a shortage of room keys come 2027. Just moving on from the selling points, I think that for me that's it. I've touched on, I think touched on the sort of I hope I've touched on the point of why you see value within investing in Ras Al Khaimah. Obviously, our project that we're here about, the JW Marriott, we will be launching this in January. That is happening. For more information, obviously you can get in touch with myself or anyone within my team. But yeah, I think for me, I think that's it. I'm now going to just answer some questions. So yeah, please feel free to fire away.
Daniel. Yes, thank you very much for the insightful presentation. Actually, you made me look forward personally to the JW Marriott resort, residence and resort, actually. I'm sure our audience have lots of questions, but before that, we open the floor to the questions. I'd like to remind everyone that they can submit their questions. Your questions on the side using the Q&A panel on your screen. We'll be answering questions as they come in order. We actually have a first question. Shall we start with the first question, Daniel? The first question says, when is the launch of the project? Any price ideas?
Okay.
Any precise date?
Okay, so the launch date will be around the first or second week of January. Okay, price guide wise, you will be looking for one beds. The date. So yeah, no. So price. Yeah. So launch date will be around the first or second week of Jan. We're just sort of finalising the dates to coincide with, like I say, the first or second week. I think price wise will be. Price-wise, one beds will be starting. We're at the pre-launch stage now, so one beds will be looking around. Our price per square foot will be around about 3,100 dirhams a square foot. So our one bedrooms will be starting from around about 2.8. Okay, two bedrooms will be around sort of 4.1. 3 bedrooms will be 5.7. I think it's just worth pointing out, and I don't know if I did point it out before, you know, there are only 525 units within the resident side. 524 units.
Yes. Another question we have. What are the different types of units available at JW Marriott Residence, and what are the sizes?
Okay, so the different types we have a few. We've got about 6 different types of one beds. Okay, 2 beds. We've got two different types of 2 beds. two different types of 3 beds. Obviously, the penthouses and the duplex apartments are all one type. And the sizes were, so the 1 beds will be starting from about 900 square foot, 905 square foot. 2 beds, you're looking just shy of 1,400 square foot, and your 3 beds are just over 1,800 square foot. And the duplex is 2,100 square foot.
Very spacious, very nice. A question we have saying, would there be a price rise when Wynn Resort is launched?
Good question, that. Okay, so that was a question when I've been speaking to many of the clients that have already made a commitment here with me, especially my investors. You know, one of the selling points, and what I said earlier when speaking in the webinar, is I think Ras Al Khaimah is yet to find its true value. I think what we've seen in the island, or what we've seen in the island so far, is with the developments which are already on the island, there's already a few residential towers there now. When the Wynn was announced, we saw their price per square foot drastically increase. So, you know, my understanding of where we will be come to 2027, you know, if you're entry level now for an apartment 3.132 per square foot, I wouldn't be too surprised, especially with what we're offering, if we're not going to be touching somewhere to 6,000 dirhams a square foot once ready at operation.
Yes, it says here also another question. What are the estimated rental yields for units at the JW Marriott residence, and what is the potential for the capital appreciation?
Okay, so I think the appreciation, like I said to you a minute ago, for me, the capital appreciation, if you're coming in on launch, for sure you're going to get appreciation wherever you go. But with this particular development and being Ras Al Khaimah, and like I said, it's yet to find its true value. You know, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, an investor comes in today, buys it at 3.1, once the development's ready, once the island's established, okay, and the wind is functioning up and running, I wouldn't be surprised if we're touching close to 6,000 dirhams per square foot. Now, what we're offering within the hotel, so there's two options you have here in the middle. You have like a rental pooling system, you have a rental program. So the pooling system is done differently to the program. Just to give you an example, Rasha, say if I own an apartment and you own an apartment within the pooling system, if my apartment's empty but your apartment is occupied, that revenue will get evenly split, regardless with my apartment being empty. With the rental program, is if your apartment's rented, you earn. If it's not, you don't. So we're offering the rental program. So what we've done, or what the developer has done, like any top hotelier brands around the world, is that we have to get third parties to come in and forecast potentially what the ROI is going to be for these clients. So we've used a company called JLL MENA. So they've come in, they've done a forecast. So they've done a forecast on a room rate of $500 a night. Now this will fluctuate depending on the time of the year. Okay, this will also run on a 90% occupancy level. So based on these two facts, or their forecasts, we are saying to the investor that they could get an ROI anywhere between 13 to 18% return on their investment. Okay, people are going to ask, well, where did you get these for? You know, where did you get these figures? How do they base them on? So, for example, Macau is a prime example for a country where they've got it from. I think if you look in Cannes, if you look in Monaco, you know, they have limited, I think only actually have one casinos there. So, you know, they base their forecasts on what is already operational and functional around the world. And it's going to be how it's going to be run similar to what we're doing or what they're doing, in Ras Al Khaimah with the wind.
Amazing. When is the expected completion for handover for the JW Marriott residence in Al Marjan Island?
Okay, so our anticipated handover date is the last quarter 2026. Okay, it's worth pointing out as well that, you know, a lot of developments that have already started on the island have to be finished within a certain time. So I know Emar and Nikki Beach are going to be handing over in 2028. However, from my understanding, they do have an obligation to Marjan Island that at least they finish the phases that they've launched by Jan 27 for when the Wynn Casino is going to be opening. So by the first time 1st of Jan 2027 comes around, 90% of that island will be finished, will be operational for the grand opening. And that's where we've got to coincide with our agreement with Marjan Island.
So we will be launching, we will be handing over end of 2026.
Correct.
And the Win will start by 2027, 1st of Jan. So we will be operational at the same time.
Yes, correct. So we'll be handing over, we're handing over the end of 26. The Win will come online and launch in the beginning of the 27th.
So you will be able to see the New Year's
Oh.
from there. It says here, okay, tell me about the amenities and the views. You touched on that. You want to touch on this?
Yeah. Okay. So I think the views from wherever you're in that building, you're going to get a sea view. The way it's designed, I think it's also worth pointing the architects behind it. There's a company called he's a guy called Tony Ashai. He's a well-known architect around the world. He's a celebrity architect, actually. He's worked closely with HBA on this. So HBA is the architect who designed the Skyview address in downtown. So we know that when these two come together, that the product that they're gonna give or they're gonna hand over, it's gonna be something different, and you can see that just from what we've shown in terms of the renders here. So wherever you are in that building, you are gonna have some sort of sea view. That's for sure.
Yes, and of course the Wynn.
Just also the amenities as well. You just asked about. So we're gonna have amenity-wise there. There's going to be roughly around 6 swimming pools scattered throughout the resort itself. F&B outlets. There will be 6 to 7 F&B outlets in there. They are in the process of talking to some top restaurateurs at the moment. So rest assured that yes, there will be some top brands coming in there in terms of restaurants. And obviously, when you sign with a brand like the JW Marriott, they require a certain standard anyway. So we have to follow their standard of who we bring, because it has to be approved by them as well.
As well, when you were saying about the design, it's really beautiful. I can't wait for it to be there and to look at it. And you won't be able, anyways, to miss that plot, because driving to the Wynn, everyone has its closest plot. You can't miss it. It will be a landmark. For sure.
100% agree. 100% agree.
And another question asking about the price per square foot. We touched on that as well, but
okay. So let me just go.
They want to see if we would be achieving on the launch, considering the current price. Okay. So they're asking about the price after the launch. If now they're saying 31.50 per square foot, would that change by the launch?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I think we as a company have to achieve this. We as a brokerage have to achieve a certain value for this project. For us to achieve a certain value, and we also have to sell out as well. So for us to achieve that, we have to phase this project. So for us to phase this project, we'll have 4 or 5 different phases. Okay, and within each phase, prices will go up. Because like I said, we have to achieve a certain value. So anyone that's coming in and buying now or making a commitment now, okay, you're getting a pre-launch price. By the time we come around to launch, which will be first or second week of Jan, I would probably see us somewhere about a 10 or 15% more to where we are now. So what we're doing is we're honoring the people that have come in early and giving them the best opportunity in terms of getting a maximum capital appreciation for them.
So I have a question here about EOIs. Are you accepting EOIs? You touched on that.
Yeah.
Sure. They want to be
Okay,
sure.
so yes, at the moment we are accepting EOIs. They're what we call an expression of interest. We're asking people to come in, give us their expression of interest. I think the good thing is, anyone, like I said, anyone that's coming in early and giving us the expression of interest, will be getting the launch price. So yeah, keep that in mind.
Another question saying, how will the JW Marriott residence differentiate itself from other branded residences in the market?
Do you know what, guys? These are great questions, and I like them because I think you've got to look at the brand that we're selling. So we're the JW Marriott. We are a 5-star luxury brand. Okay, if you look at what other brands are on that are coming at the moment, a lot of the brands are a beach brand, Nikki Beach, well known. You've got Noble, which is a restaurateur brand, known within the restaurant industry. The Address, great brand. Very, very, very well known throughout the Middle East. Step outside the Middle East, it's not really well known. So, the JW Marriott, what we are, it's a world-renowned brand. Everyone knows it around the world. The minute you say JW Marriott, everyone knows it. So I think what we're selling and how we differentiate ourselves is that we have a very, very strong brand that operates around the world in many countries. And I think it's worth, a lot of the brands that are coming to the island aren't just hotelier brands. There are clothes brands, there are watch brands. But yes, there are also hotelier brands. And, our brand is, I feel, our brand is by far the best at the moment on the island.
Of course, I believe in that as well, actually, and I'm looking forward to. And people are looking forward as well. They're asking where they can contact and how they can come to contact for closing such, or take EOIs, or of course to have a sale done.
Okay, guys. So for anyone that's interested, after this, you will be able to leave your details with me, okay? Or leave your details. And what we will do, someone from our sales team will get in touch with you, invite you into our office here, where we can go into more detail in terms of, sizes, layouts, prices, views, which are important. And, for those that maybe don't understand the location, really help you understand that, because it's the best location on the island.
More questions we have. Payment plan. People are asking about payment plan.
Okay, the payment plan, it's a great payment plan. It's a 70-30 payment plan. It's a competitive payment plan. If you look on the island at the moment, I don't like comparing us to other brands, because I think it's unfair to compare. But I think if you look at a recent launch which was done, I think it was 90-10. So for us, I think this is our payment plan is a fantastic payment plan of 70-30. So can you get that guy next door to shut up? Who is it?
Okay, people asking again about the launch date. We said it's kind of...
Okay, let me just touch on that. So just to get, I know the launch date. Launch is going to be around the first week of Jan. We are going to be having a big launch. Everyone's going to be invited. We want everyone to come, whether you're going to be a real estate broker, whether you're going to be an investor, or you just want to come along and experience it. All is invited. Guys, you will hear about it soon. You will start seeing it out there more so in the general public, you will do in the coming weeks through various advertising outlets. You'll see it visually going down certain roads. You'll start seeing things everywhere, that's for sure.
Okay, I think our time is almost up for questions. So we will have, I'd like to thank you. I thank you, Daniel, this morning. I would like to thank everyone for joining us this morning. And we will be announcing in the end, as Daniel mentioned, the date of our launch will most probably be mid of January for the JW Marriott It will be with January 2024. We'll be sharing, of course, with you all the details. And we will be looking forward to see everyone there.
Okay.
We will be also having, well, as I said, we can schedule meetings for everyone. Our offices are in Dubai Marina at 2 business hours. This is our location for now. We will be also having a sales center, a show apartment. Daniel, would you like to add anything else?
Yeah, I just think, thanks, Rasha. Yeah, you're absolutely right, guys. All is welcome to come to our office in Al Habtoor Business Tower. Come, have a coffee, chat with us. We'll explain to you more. Brokers, investors. I think also, guys, from a broker's point of view, we will be paying good commission on this product. So guys, I think you guys should get on board. And yeah, I think for me, that's it. I want to say thank you for everyone that's tuned in, that's listened. I appreciate your time this morning. It was my first webinar, so if I was a little bit rusty, bear with me. Okay, I will be doing more and I will be getting better. But guys, I appreciate your time this morning, and I look forward to getting back in, hopefully hearing from you soon in regards to this and talking more and educating you more about Ras Al Khaimah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you, everyone. From Daniel and me and the team, of course. Thank you, everyone. Wish you a lovely rest of the day and looking forward to see you all soon in the office, in the lounge, and in Al Marmara Islands. Take care and bye-bye for now.